other people to join. We'll be starting soon. Let's Our speaker is already here and is ready for us. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Let's go to the platform and encourage other people to join as we'll be starting shortly. Can we hear me? All right. Good evening. Good evening. Sorry for that short delay. I had network glitch because of the rain. Like rain just started at exactly 8 when I was about to go live, so it disrupted the network. Sorry for that delay. Thank you for joining. If you can hear me, just type. I can hear you in the comment section. If you can hear me, Can we hear me? Yes, good evening, great. Good evening. Thank you so much for joining. If you can hear me, just type hi. I've missed you all. I've literally missed you all. Like I think we had classes a few days ago. So how are we doing? Good evening. If you can hear me, just type hi. I can hear you in the comment section. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. If you can hear me, just say hi in the comment section. Sorry for that delay. I had network glitch because of the rain. Thank you so much. I think most of us are experiencing the rain problem. Okay, King Pearl, thank you so much for joining. You are welcome. Our speaker is here and ready to have us. So I'll be bringing him shortly. Miss Patience, are you here? Hi, Uchechi. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. You're welcome. King Pearl, I see you. Thank you so much. So before we bring our speaker on stage, who can remember the last topic we had? Somebody should remind us of the last topic we had. You can just leave your comments in the comment section if you can you can remember. Just tell us the last topic we had. Please, no cheating. I'm saying that in the next, once it's 8:15, it's gone. So tell us the last topic and you have your airtime. Can someone, I'm still waiting. Our last topic, what's the last topic we had? What was the last topic we had? Let me check if our speaker is here now. Is it that we cannot remember? What was the last topic we had, guys? Let's see who is following up. All right. Oh my God, I didn't know you could not hear me. My mic was off. So if you can hear me, our speaker is already here. And if you are excited, just send your excitement, drop your excitement in the comment section. And regarding the last class we've had, Mr. King Pearl, yes, he got it correctly. So, Mr. King Pearl, just reach out to me at the end of this class for your gift. Thank you so much, guys. We are really, grateful to have you all here. And we've been giving back to back, you know, amazing classes. And tonight is going to be even better because we are talking about something that is really important that we all should know. And so, like I said, our speaker is already here for us. So help me, welcome speaker for tonight in person of, let me call him by his IG name so that you all can go and follow him on Instagram, AA Reality. Thank you so much for joining. And he's a salesperson at Besties Group. So thank you, sir, for joining. I'll be, bringing him on stage now. Hello. No, this is not our speaker, please. This is not our speaker. All right, Miss Patience, if you can hear me, please help us reach out to our speaker that we are ready to have him. Okay, he's here already. He's here. Thank you. I thought. Thank you, sir, for joining. Please help me welcome our speaker in person of Mr. Adeyemo Abdulwasiu. He is a sales guru. Patience, I love it. He's a sales guru. He's somebody that I've known, for quite some time, and he's really doing amazing things in the real estate sector. So tonight he's going to be talking about, clients, building relationship with your clients and managing them. Thank you for joining, sir. You have the floor, sir.
Hello, everyone. Hello, good
Okay, sir.
evening.
So you're going to be reacting on in the comment section, but if you want to bring anybody on stage, you can let me know and I'll bring the person on stage. So the person will be able to speak. Can you hear me, sir? Can you hear me, sir?
Hello, good evening, everyone.
I think okay. Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, I kind of lost network reception there for a while.
Okay, is the weather. The rain is
Yes,
all
yes, it's raining here, and we're in Nigeria, so of course.
right. Thank you very much, sir.
So, thank you very much, Doshima, for that a little overhyped introduction. I like to see myself as an humble individual that's trying to grow in this industry, and it is a pleasure, of course, to be on this platform. Good evening, everybody. Are we together?
Yes, sir. We can hear you. Can go ahead, sir.
All right, all right. Very well then. Well, the from the moment I saw the topic for today, and before I go into the lecture proper, I am somebody that likes a very, very, very engaging class. So from time to time, I'll mute my mic and I want to hear from one or two of us here on this class, and I hope that's okay.
Yes, that's fine, sir. That's fine.
All right, very well then. So, from the moment I heard the topic of today's lecture, I know that what is expected to be delivered is what happens after the sale has been closed. Yeah. But effective strategies for client relationship, building your relationship with your clients doesn't start after the sales has been made. It starts even before the sales has been made. So we are going to deal with this topic on different aspects. We are going to deal with creating an effective, or should I say effective, strategies for client relationship and management at the pre-sale level, at the sale level, and post-sale level. So let's just get into it real quick. Because of our time factor, we had one or two delays. Now, in as much as sales is a game of numbers, the more people you talk to, the more money you make, the more hands you shake, the more money you make. That's the game of sales. It's a game of numbers. In as much as that is the case, if you do not know how to maintain and manage your relationship with your clients, you would always find yourself working on another deal like a clock. So you cannot overemphasize the essence of a good and healthy relationship between yourself and your clients. Now, what is the relevance of this topic? Consider the real estate industry. For everything I'm going to be talking about in this topic, it is from my personal experience, and I am a realtor in the real estate industry. So I'm going to be speaking from the angle of the real estate industry, especially in Abuja, speaking from my own personal experience. It's going to be the lecture is largely going to be based on my personal experience. so as just to make things realistic. I like to give lectures based on experience rather than what is in the book. So, what is the relevance of this topic? As it is now in Nigeria, especially the city of Abuja, there is so much competition in the real estate industry that for every five prospects you meet, for every five average prospects you meet, one or two of them has affiliation with the real estate industry directly or indirectly. I've gone to outings, events where I, approach people and realize that this is somebody that is also into real estate industry, or he has a direct affiliation with someone who is into real estate. So the the industry is highly competitive, and what makes you stand out is, of course, your relationship, how you deal with your sales process, and it is largely based on your relationship with your clients. A good relationship is built on trust, and trust is the lifeline of sales. Another reason why this particular topic is relevant is because of the diverse socio-economic structure of the Nigerian market. We have different ethnicity, different cultural belief, different cultural norms. So the approach that I'm going to use for an Hausa person is different from the way I want to speak and maintain my relationship with a Yoruba man. So all those things are things that you're going to put into consideration. Of course, creating a relationship, especially for the purpose of sales, for a business, I mean, something that doesn't just come naturally. It's not as if maybe you are having a flow in relationship with a partner, or a romantic relationship. Creating a business relationship, it's something that is very, very intentional. So there are certain things that you definitely have to like pay attention to. Intentionality is the key word there. Now, what are the perks that comes with this? Lifetime clients. If you are able to like maintain a very, very good relationship, and that's something personally that I enjoy in my industry. I I have all I can boldly say that all the clients, or should I say 90%, because some of them are one-time buyers. There will always be one-time buyers. There will always be people that just want to test the water with you or your company or your industry or that particular product and just move on to the next one. Yeah. But 90% of the people that I've been able to sell to are my returning clients. 90%. And we'll get into them. I'll give examples as the lecture goes on. Now, one of the perks that comes with having, the effective strategies to maintain a good relationship with your clients is lifetime relationship. We have a lifetime clients as it is, except you mess things up or something comes up along the line. Stress-free referrals, my people. If you've been in sales, then you understand how sweet referral is. Because, I mean, getting referral from somebody is already breaking the barrier of trust. For somebody to buy from you or buy you, definitely for somebody to buy from you, the person has to buy you first. You sell yourself first before you sell your product. So for somebody to buy from you, the person has to trust you to a very good extent, either trust you or your product or your approach to a very good extent. Now, for you to get referral, or if you have to get referral, that barrier of trust has already been broken, because you are using the referee's trust as a leverage for you to approach that person. Now, bulletproof reputation, depending on your approach, of course. Yeah, you have your reputation is sealed, and that person, you've earned yourself a brand ambassador, somebody who will always speak about your brand anytime, any day. Are we together? Are we together, guys? Hello, are we together? Well, that being said, let's go into the strategies proper. Like I said at the beginning of the class, we are going to be breaking them down into three different aspects: the pre-sale aspect, the strategies to look at to effectively, create that foundation of relationship between yourself and your client, and to, after sale, manage that relationship. Now, we're starting from the pre-sale aspect. I want to keep this class as succinct and as short as possible. The first thing in the pre-sale aspect, of course, the pre-sale aspect is the work that you've done before you go to go and meet your client, and you cannot overemphasize the essence of building your own brand. Build your, that's not the, I mean, that's not the essence of this topic, but I just have to touch that part. You have to build your brand, build yourself as a brand, something, as someone that they can trust. Now, when I say brand, what is a brand? Branding is simply perception, how people see you, how you make people see you. I, for one, personally, I'm somebody that likes to have, like, I'm somebody that likes, to catch fun a lot. In fact, back in the school, I was the social director of the student union government. So I've always been used to, lifestyle, right? But the perception I give my brand in this particular industry is someone who is very serious, who always sits on business. So branding is perception, basically. Build your own brand, evolve it around whatever you want to evolve it around, but build your brand. Define your core values. These are the things that will help you in, in your approach in getting your clients and maintaining that relationship. What are your core values? Do I what am I in this for? What do I stand for? What do I want to stand for? Am I in this for the long term? Am I in this for the short term? What means the most to me? Is it my integrity or my commission? Are we together now? So define your core values. Then be prepared, of course. Preparedness. You cannot emphasize this part also. Understand the industry. Gather knowledge on the industry. Gather knowledge on your product before going to. So all these little points will help you give the foundation into the type of relationship you are going to have with your clients going forward. Now, on the sales aspect, let's move to the sales aspect. While or after you've approached your client or prospect, the next thing, of course, as a good salesperson, is to find one way or another to penetrate that person and pitch your product. You might, depending on the situation or the scenario, you might want to pitch your product on the first meeting with that person, or you just wait till you've established some type of understanding with that person before you pitch your product. However the case, however the case, along the line, you would have to pitch your product to your clients. Now, before you do that, the best approach is to know that prospect. Understand, who am I talking to? What is this person about? What does this person want? You can't come and talk to a hustler and pitch your product to a hustler the way you are going to pitch it to maybe a politically exposed person. The approach is very, very flawed. You cannot pitch to me now that I'm trying to make it in this industry the way you are going to pitch to somebody who is already standing very well in his own industry. Yeah, so you have to know your clients, identify their pain points. Yeah, consider class and demography too. These are the things you put into consideration. Abuja, for one, I'll always use Abuja as the case study here. Abuja, for one, is a classist community. That's one thing I had to learn the hard way when I first came to Abuja, that okay, this is a classist community, different approach for different individuals. So one way not to shoot yourself in the leg along the line is to understand your prospects. Understand your prospects. Okay, what kind of person is this person? Is he a hustler? Is he a legacy builder? Is he somebody that wants to buy land for legacy sake and leave it for the next generation, create generational wealth? Is he an aspiring landlord? Somebody that wants to build a house and is just buying land for the first time. Yeah, the way you hold the hands of somebody who is buying land for the first time is different from an old-time buyer or a serial investor. Is he a diaspora investor? Is he somebody in the diaspora? The pointers that you use for somebody in the diaspora is different from when you are talking to somebody in Nigeria. We would, break all of these things down in bits as we go on. But then, like I said, just to recap, first, the pre-sale. The pre-sale aspects of creating the foundation of that relationship. Build your brand. The perception that you give to your client or prospect will determine how long the relationship will last. There is no overemphasizing the first impression that you give your clients. There's no emphasizing that. So for you to do that, you have to build or have a very good branding. Branding simply is perception. It doesn't have to be who you are. It's just what you want people to think about you or how you want people to see you. That's exactly what branding is. Define your core values. Prepare. Gather knowledge about the industry and about your products so nothing catches you off guard. Now, when you approach your clients, first thing, know your prospects. Identify their pain points. And for you to be able to identify the pain points, and this is one mistake that most salespeople do. When I first started working in real estate here in Abuja, we used to go for something called market storming. I'm sure for people that are seasoned in this industry, you know what market storming is. We used to go for something called market storming in the industry. And one mistake I used to make then is that I felt like sales or getting a prospect is all about my pitch. If I have a very good pitch, I mean, I've already closed the deal. So when I go, I'm just talking and talking and talking and giving all the jabu like I'm a preacher. Do you understand? So along the line, I came to understand that after your initial pitch, the best way to close anybody is to listen to that person. They will talk. And if it's for somebody that doesn't even want to talk, ask questions. They will answer. From the answer, you'll be able to identify this person's pain points. Okay, this person has been scammed before. This person is a little bit skeptical because of wiki. This person has issues with the concept of buying land and keeping it. So this person, when you identify these pain points, it is easier for you to penetrate these clients and close the deal. Yeah, and it is easier for you to establish a very, very good relationship with that person from their pain points. Because if my issue is that I've been scammed before in real estate, and then you were able to identify that on your own, and you were able to address that and make me feel at ease, you would always be that guy that changed my perspective about real estate. And for that, I would always want you in my corner. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Now, for you to do all of these things, there's a lecture that I listened to that says you cannot approach the market with hunger. You cannot be hungry and also thrive. Yeah, so there's of course at a point where you are always after your commission. Man, I just want to make this money. I just want to close this deal. But then, the patient ones, the ones who take their time to understand the clients, to get their pain points. And when I say take their time, it doesn't necessarily have to be a lengthy process. It's just for you to settle down and listen. Those are the ones that have them for the long term. Yeah. Identify their pain points. Identify their interests outside the transaction. This is the informal part of the process. Identify their interest. Is he a football person? Oh, this person is a football person. What fan? Is he a Man U fan? Is he probably into clubbing? Does he like to go to the club? One thing that my boss does is that once he identifies your interest outside the industry, he exploits it to his advantage. And that has always worked for him. He leverages it. I don't want to use the word exploits because that would mean that he takes advantage of people. But he leverages it to his advantage. So that's one thing that my boss always does. Yeah, so when you identify their interest, you can be able to leverage it to your advantage and form a common ground, find a common ground outside the transaction. Now, in selling, you can exaggerate, but do not lie. The point at which you've been identified to be a liar is the point where you lose that client for good. So you can exaggerate, but don't lie. Stay on top of trends. Now we are still in the sale process. In the process where you are closing sale in. These are strategies for you to maintain that good relationship and establish a very good relationship through the pre-sale, sale, and post-sale process. Now, admittedly, the post-sale process is the most important part of this lecture, and that's the part where I would like to, That's the part where I would like to exaggerate, where I would like to expatiate on a bit. Right now, still on the sale process, exaggerate but do not lie. At the point where you've been identified as a liar, you've lost that client. You can exaggerate, but do not be identified as a liar. Stay on top of industry trends and address them as soon as possible. Consider Abuja for example. There's something that happened. There is a development that happened in Abuja recently, where the minister said that you cannot hold the documents of a particular plot of land without developing on it more than a period of 2 years, and other policies that came with it like that. Now, for somebody who wants to stay ahead of his competitors in an industry that is oversaturated, don't let me exaggerate things. In an industry that is saturated, for somebody who wants to stay ahead, who wants to stay on top of his competitors, you have to identify, you have to be able to address all these developments as soon as, good or bad, you have to be able to identify all these developments as soon as they come on. There's a developer that was just caught for selling fake properties. Immediately that news came out, even before most of my clients saw it. By myself, you would use the publicity to your advantage, the PR to your advantage. By myself, I went into their DM. I'll send a BC. That's something I do. I'll send a BC telling them that, okay, wow, have you heard of this particular development? These are things that even help you to like strengthen the bond between you and your clients during the sale process, even before the post-sale process. How did you hear about this developer that was said to have scammed? You see, that's why I'm telling you that you have to do your due diligence. That's something we do differently, even though you are guilty of the same thing that person has done. As far as you are telling the person that, okay, this is the problem that I've identified in this industry, and this is how we will do it differently, you would give a different perspective to your own self and most likely win that client for good in terms of relationship. Are we together?
Yes, we are.
So stay on top of industry trends. Stay on top of industry trends. Now, talking about Abuja as a case study, um, I would like to, like, from my own personal experience, to classify the type of clients, because I believe that the bulk of the people on this call or that will be listening to this particular lecture are people from the real estate industry in Abuja, or the person that invited me to this particular lecture is a realtor in Abuja. So I will always use Abuja as the case study. Now, there are classes of clients here in Abuja that I've been able to take my time to identify. They are government workers. So we are going to like list all these clients and what they want and how to approach them, some of their pain points, the easy ways to penetrate them, so to say. They are government workers. Government workers now, they they want value, but they also want discretion, because there is they don't want this stigma around you are eating government money. Most government worker and politicians, they have that thing in common. You have to be very discreet. You have to be discreet with government workers. There are some of my clients that I would not post for any reasons, and there are certain clients that I will post because that's a way for me to strengthen the bond between us, to strengthen the relationship between us. There are some of my clients that I'll post, it's your birthday, I'm posting you on my status, I'm wishing you all the best and all of that. But there are some of them that I would not even mention at any point in time because of the type of person or the demography that they fall under. So all these things, once you understand all these bureaucracies, once you understand all these dynamics, it will be easy for you to form a very good relationship and maintain that relationship depending on the type of clients or the class of clients that they fall under. Government workers, they want value and they want discretion. They need clear documentation and they prefer quiet luxury. They don't want something very, very loud. They don't want to be identified as so you're eating government money, this, that. The average government worker would prioritize quiet luxury. So when you meet somebody and then you are talking to the person, you tell the person that this is what I do. How about you, sir? Where do you work? And the person mentions that I work with the government, or I work in this particular parastatal. You already know that, okay, this person, first of all, doesn't want to, is not somebody that is loud. So you start using all those informations you know about government workers to your advantage. Oh, wow. So we have this property that is in this particular location that I'm very, very sure will suit your taste, because this property is luxury, but it's luxury that is exclusive. Not everybody has access to it. I can use an example of our product in Katampe extension now. Is a very, very perfect example for this. Yeah. So not everybody has access to Katampe extension. Katampe extension is discreet, quiet. If you buy a property here, it appreciates very, very fast. I think it will suit you or your investment taste. That's that about that for government workers. Another class of individuals or clients that I've come to identify in this Abuja are politically exposed people. These are the most difficult ones to find. Politically exposed people, the PEPs. They are not necessarily politicians, but they can also be people that have affiliations to politicians, people that are exposed in politics. These ones, they prioritize location and prestige. When you come to this place, when you tell this person, I say, oh, I work in the National Assembly. You don't go and be telling them that you have property in Lugbe or Kuje. They don't want that. In fact, they might get direct allocation from the government. They don't want to hear all of that. So when somebody comes and tells you that I work in the National Assembly, the first point of your first pitch should be products that are in high class places. And that's one thing about sales. That's one thing about establishing a relationship. Even though you do not, or your company doesn't have products in those luxurious places, use it as a point to establish a relationship with that person first. Let me give you an example. For one, is in my pipeline now. I'm yet to close that person, one of the clients that I met recently. So I went to Yakoyo in Central Business District here in Abuja, and then I saw this car park, this car stand there in Yakoyo, and I saw the manager. It turns out to be a very, very young man. He just like briefly passed and went into, and one of my friends just intended me that that's the manager of this car stand. And I was like, wow, let's go to his office. So when we went there, the secretary was like, do I have an appointment with him? I said, no, I do not have an appointment, but I want to make an inquiry about a car. And she was like, okay, let her call him. And she called him, and that Abdul Asiu from B-Sides Group is here to see you. When I went into the man's office, the first thing I told him, I do not have interest in buying a car. I told him I'm looking for a 548 Peugeot 2018 model, that the company I work with, I am the operations manager of the company, and we are trying to honor one of our staffs with a car, because the person has served the company, the person has been very, very relevant and useful to the company. So the company is trying to honor him with a car. And so I want to inquire about the price of a Peugeot. Remember, keep in mind that I do not have interest in buying a Peugeot. I just want a pinpoint. I just want a leverage point for me to get access to this manager and form a relationship with him. And he was like, okay, so what model? I was like, 2018 model. He was like, they don't currently have it in the car stand, but I should take his number. And, when I was like, okay, so I'll take your number. Fine. Whenever you have it, please let me know. Meanwhile, I mentioned to you that I work with a real estate company. And one of the things that we do is lands and services. We charter lands in different locations across Abuja, in different locations across Abuja. And, when we sell these lands, they develop in value. There are different lands that are specifically for investment. There are ones that are good for buy and build, all of those things. When I told him, he was very, very interested. Now, if I hadn't gone to that office and tell him that I'm interested in a car, he probably wouldn't have listened to me. Yeah, he probably wouldn't have listened to me. So the point exactly for making this, or for citing this example, is to tell you that whether or not your company has property in that place, once you identify the class of clients that this person fall under, you do not meet a politically exposed person and tell him that you have a plot of land in Kuje. He will likely not buy. Government give them allocation in those places for free. He will not listen to you. He will lose interest. But when you identify, okay, this is a politically exposed person, so one of the things that is peculiar to people in this class is they want luxury and prestige. So you go into places like Guzape, Katampe extension. I'm sorry for those of us that are not familiar with Abuja environs, when you talk about these places, you get their interest, probably get their contact. And then along the line, you might say, oh, okay, so our products in this particular place are under service. We're trying to do documentation on them. Meanwhile, these are the ones that you can look at. And these are the reasons why I want you to look at these ones, pending to when we finish documentation on these other ones. Yeah. So politically exposed clients, they prioritize location and prestige, and they want to be confidential. They prioritize
Hello, can we hear me? Please, if you can hear me, type yes in the comment section. I want to be sure that it's. Is that our speaker's network? Okay, I guess it's his network. It's his network. So he'll be joining us very, very soon. I think his network. All right, all right. It's his network that locked him out. I don't know. Our network is really bad this evening. But if you are enjoying everything he has been saying, let's hear it in the comment section. If you are enjoying everything he's saying, like I need to come back to this class too and listen to it because he's dishing out value and exactly, the exact strategies we need to get the big dogs here in Abuja. So if you are enjoying the session, just type yes, I am enjoying the session in the comment section before he joins us back quickly. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I don't know if he's ready to have us now. Like I'm literally enjoying this class. All right, so while we await our speaker to be back, of course we'll be rounding up very soon, but I want to highlight some of the things that really stood out for me in this class, and that's the fact that you need to prioritize clients based on class. Like, you literally need to know the classes of people that you are reaching out to. You cannot go and be telling somebody that is broke and hungry to come and buy land. It's not even possible, right? So you need to know how to identify the big people that can buy lands from you. And in order to do that, you also need to know the right strategies to use to approach these people. Imagine attending a conference and then you are meeting somebody, an elite, right? And then you are talking to the person. Will you just go and meet the person and be like, oh, I have this land, come and buy this land, sir, come on, I'm selling this land? No, you won't do that. You would look for something that interests the person. Let me check if our speaker is back. All right, our speaker is back, so but we'll be rounding up very, very soon. You're welcome, sir. So let me add him back on stage. Yes.
sorry about that. It's the network reception in
No, it's
Nigeria.
fine.
It's
It's
not
fine.
when it rains. It's not just
Great.
NEPA that needs to dry
Like,
their wires. Also, I think some of these telecommunication companies too needs to dry their masts. So
no,
that's
they need to improve. They need to improve, honestly.
yes,
You're
yes.
welcome back.
Thank you very much. So we are on the politically exposed persons. We are done with that part. Now another class of individuals, and this is the sweetest part. If you know how to tap into the diaspora clients, my brother, my sister, you would enjoy the game of sales, especially in the real estate industry. If you know how to tap into, do you know how much revenue Lagos State generated from 30 December last year? Who can remember how much revenue was generated from especially recreational places in Lagos State last year? The bulk of this revenue was generated from diaspora clients, people that traveled over from the UK, US, Germany, just Canada to come and spend their money in Nigeria. And there will always be clients like that. If you can tap into the diaspora market, you would enjoy the game of sales. You would enjoy the game of sales. Now, what do these diaspora investors need? You take them on virtual tours. Of course, they are not here, so they are usually very skeptical. It's not easy to win their trust. But if you happen to win their trust, it's easier to win their trust if they have a representative here in Nigeria. It's easier to win their trust right that way. Like one of the diaspora clients I have is in Qatar. His brother is in Nigeria here. He's in Delta State. So he traveled over to Abuja for the inspection and all of that. And we did a virtual inspection where he was on the call. We went to site and all of that. Even when his brother came to the office, he saw the office and he saw all of that. And I have that client. I can boldly say that yes, I have this person. For now, I have this person strongly 100% with me. So take them on virtual tours, do video inspections, legal assurance. These ones, they don't want to hear that. They are not so concerned about the appreciation of the land. They just want to own a property in their father's land. They want to own a property back home. They are not so concerned that this will give you 500% return on investment. They are not so keen on that because they have the upper hand when it comes to the currency valuation. So they are not so keen. Of course, you can use that as an added advantage. But the points or the points of pain where you should address legal assurance, let them know because they are in a country where the system works better. So tell them that from the legal point of view, this particular property is certified by the federal FCDA, AGs, as the case may be. It has been documented. It is just approach them for the point of legal documentation. Let them see why that property is valid, right? They prefer gated estates than bare land. This one I had to learn the hard way. Because if you take somebody on a virtual tour and show the person a bare land, what is the assurance that that is just not any bare land in Nigeria, right? What is the assurance that that is? Well, if they have a representative in Nigeria, that's a plus. But for cases where there is no representative in Nigeria, does that mean you can't still sell, you will not be able to sell to diaspora clients? So one thing I've come to observe is that they prefer a gated estate. Fine, if your company doesn't have one, good and fine. There are other ways to approach it. Yeah, but if it does, it's a plus. If it does, it's a plus. So that's something I've also come to realize about diaspora clients. Take them on virtual tours. Speak from the angle of legal documentation. Over return on investment. Yeah, the class of people that want return on investment are civil servants, and that's where we are now. Those are the ones that want to make fast, good money from their little investment. Civil servants prefer mass housing schemes. It's a very big estate. We'll give you 6 months payments. We'll give you 1 year payment plan for you to spread your payments. You can approach civil servants. So when you go for prospecting or when you meet a client and you are trying to establish a relationship and you find out that, okay, this person is a civil servant, approach them from the point of ease, from the point of comfort, ease, convenience in payment. That's what they want to hear. They want to hear you are giving me 6 months payment plan. They want to hear that I'm giving you a discount. That's what civil servants want to hear. So if you can able to approach them from that angle, you win them from that perspective. Let me give you an example of of one of my clients that bought from me. So I mean, she's a lawyer. So personally, I don't know her. I knew her through one of my friend's girlfriend. So that my friend is not in Nigeria. So from time to time, he tells me that, Alpha, I want to see my babe now. Just friend duty to his friends, just go hang out, discuss, just casually like that. So one of the times I wanted to go and hang out with her, she was with this lawyer. She works with the lawyer works with their company. So they were together, and we got talking, and then we got talking about real estate, and then I was able to get her attention. Now, as a lawyer, I will not tell a lawyer about documentation. But I realized that she is a lawyer. While she was seated on that call, while she was seated in that place, she kept on calling home, checking on if the children have gotten back from school, if the children have eaten. So I know that, okay, this is a mother, and this is a very, very intentional, caring mother. So from that aspect, I was not talking about documentation. I was talking about from the aspect of generational wealth. She's an Igbo woman. From the aspect of generational wealth, this, that, I was able to get her interest. She went home, she spoke to her husband about it, and they bought. Now, I think 2 or 3 months after they bought, her son did birthday, and that's another aspect that we are going to discuss in the post-sale. As let me just run through this very, very quick because of the time factor. It's almost time. So 2 or 3 months after that, son did birthday. The son's name, okay, let me keep that confidential. So the son did his birthday, and I sent a gift over. And then I was like, do you know the perfect gift that would be good for Chizetere? Knowing that this person is a very caring mother that is very particular about her children. I said, imagine now Chizetere is 10 years old. Imagine that you buy a piece of CC3, Capital City, because we have a project called Capital City Phase 3 in Kuje. Imagine that you buy a piece of CC3 for Chizetere, and Chizetere is celebrating his 18 years birthday. And that property was bought in his name, and he's now celebrating his 18 years birthday. Imagine what Chizetere will be worth at the age of 18. That was how I got this woman. This woman has 2 plots in our estate for Chizetere. She bought 2 plots of land, 300 square meters in 2 places for her son in his name. The documentation was done in his name. So if you are able to, so these are the things, and this has helped me to establish that relationship from this particular lawyer that I'm telling you. Her sister, Precious, her sister is the HRM of one big industry in Idu there. The sister has bought from me. The sister's fiancé is in the process of buying from me. I've gotten at least nothing less than, because the colleagues of the lawyer, the industry that she works, the company that she works with, because she's a private consultant for that company, the company that she works with, 1 or 2 of our colleagues have also bought from me through this lawyer. Why? Because I was able to identify the type of person that the class of person that she is, and explore or leverage that. Let's not use the word exploit, and leverage that to my advantage. Yeah, are we together, guys? Hello, or the network has done its thing again. Are we together?
Yes. We're together. But your time is up. So I'll just give you
Yeah,
like 1 more minute to round up, Sam.
very well done, very well done. On the last aspect, and this is the most important part of the strategies that in establishing a healthy and managing your relationship with your clients. The post sale, the average salesperson, as soon as you collect your commission, you are gone. As soon as you collect your commission, you have forgotten about that deal, that client, and then you find yourself looking for the next client, right? Now this is where most people do the most mistake. 50% of your competitors, this is where they get it wrong. If you are able to get it right in this particular aspect, you are above 50% of the industry already in a very saturated market, right? After the sale is when the actual money comes in. This is where the bulk of the money comes in. This is where the money multiplies without much effort anymore. Post sale, this is where it is important to leverage that relationship that you have established from the pre-sale and sale process. Yeah, so check in regularly. Let's just state the points because of the time factor. I have less than a minute now. Check in consistently on these clients. Yeah, share updates. Okay, the person has bought. What's going on in this particular place? And we can just, or should I say, the access road in this particular around your plot has just been completed, and this particular 6-lane project that Wiki was doing there has just been completed. Give them updates about their product from time to time. Take on them consistently, consistently but not frequently. When you check on them frequently, you become a nuisance. But consistently, consistent, what do I mean by consistently? If it's every 2 months, be consistent with that 2 months. If it's every 30 days you want to check on them, be consistent with that, but not very frequently. Don't become a nuisance. Offer valuable insights about the industry beyond the sales. Offer valuable insights. Don't avoid their calls if you find out that there is a problem with that product. Okay, now because it happens in the real estate industry, there will always be something that comes up and comes up. So if it happens that there is, if possible, inform them beforehand. If it's something that you feel like, okay, the company can contain before it gets out of hand, there's no need to inform them. But if it's something that you know that the company might not be able to contain and might turn out to get them reallocated, tell them beforehand. Handle the situation, sit on it beforehand. Yeah, don't avoid their calls. There's an association I sold 1 hectare to in Kuje. Now they're having problem with settling the indigenous people of that land. I've already closed the deal. I could as well just take my eye away, but I'm on top of that matter for them. I just got back from the community now. Went to go and meet their chief. The chief kept me there from 12 o'clock till I think around 6 o'clock, and we were still not able to talk about the matter. About the deal that I've already closed and forgotten that I even collected money. But if I'm able to solve this problem from them, I know that every single person in that association, I've won their trust. Okay? So don't avoid them beyond the sale. Automate reminders. Okay, it's their son's birthday. If you have the money, send them gifts. Send them gifts. It is not just about, and I would like to conclude with this particular statement. It is not just about who makes the loudest noise, but about who is remembered when it matters. In Abuja, people would not shout and do that. Silent referrals, when they mention your place in essential places, when they mention your name, sorry, in essential places, that's where you make the big money. Now you see somebody that is working in this industry 2 years, 3 years. In fact, the person might not even have social media leverage. And you see that within a span of 1 year, 2 years, this person is already so big. So it is very essential to establish that relationship, manage it, and all the stated strategies from the pre-sale, the sale, and this post-sale aspect are ways for you to leverage that to your advantage. Thank you very much. I hope everybody was able to learn.
Wow. Wow. That was really insightful and very, very detailed. If you enjoyed the class, guys, just express yourself in the comment section, because literally he gave practical examples, and not just practical examples, they were from experience. So these are some of the things that some of us will even come across or go through, and I believe that will be much better to make better decisions. Thank you so much to our speaker, Mr. Adeyemo Abdulwasil. Thank you so much. We really enjoyed your session. Personally, I did.
It's a
I did.
pleasure.
So
It's a
now,
pleasure.
because of I really did, and I filled so many parts in my notes already. Thank you so much for that one. So this is the time where we'll ask for questions. So if you have any question, you can just drop in the comment section so our speaker can quickly respond to it before we call it a night. And I can see one question already. Somebody said, what if you have a diaspora client? All right. Okay. Sorry. All right. So what if you have a diaspora client that already has properties in Nigeria and someone who manages it for him? What else can I push as a selling point? So is our speaker still here with us?
In
Mr.
in
Adeyemo.
this, yeah, I'm of course in this particular scenario. Are we together? To answer your question, in this particular scenario, your solution is already in your answer. Sorry, your solution is already in your problem. Are we? Can you hear me? Are we together? Are we together? Are we together? So I hope I'm being heard. I hope I'm being heard. In this particular scenario now, for this particular person, your solution is already in your problem. You've identified that this person has somebody who manages the property for him. Now that's the person you have to go and meet. That's the person you have to leverage over the person in diaspora. Like I said, I know a client in diaspora. The client sent his brother from Delta State to come and check the property I'm selling. The bulk part of my pitch was to that person. So if you can identify, if since you've already identified the person that manages his property for him, that's the person to use as leverage to get into that diaspora client. Of course, that's the person, because people in diaspora would not get tired of buying properties. They would not, as far as there's that cash flow, as far as they have money, don't get tired of buying properties. So identify.
Can we hear me, please? Can we hear me? Please, you can hear me, just type it in the comment section if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, okay. I couldn't hear you again. That was why.
Well, I don't know if the person was able to get my answer to the question.
Okay. So Tinaza, if you are here with us, just let us know if your question has been answered. But if not, you can send me a DM on WhatsApp and I'll forward your question again to the speaker. But I believe he has answered your question basically. That has, yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are really honored to have you, and we are happy, to have gained so much
It's
value
a pleasure.
tonight, even within the space of 1 hour. I also I believe that many of us are familiar with these statements by our co-founder, which is whoever has your ear time controls your life. So whatever you are listening to, you know, has a big part to play in your life. So thank you so much for giving us value. We are really grateful. So guys, let's go on the platform as well to appreciate our speaker. Of course, I'll be sending him all the messages. Thank you all so much. And if you have any other question after the session, you can always reach out to me and I'll send to our speaker as well. So thank you all so much for joining. Thank you for staying till this time, till we come again with another valuable session for you in this 30 days sales marathon challenge. Good night, everybody. I remain your host, Muhammad Raji Nana Hanato Abiola. Thank you all and good night. Good night, sir.